They were part of the Axis. And he plans a sneak attack at our naval base in the Pacific at Pearl Harbor, the island of Oahu, Hawaii. He believed they couldn't win. The only way they could win is if they beat us by destroying our forces before there was an actual war. To take out the U.S. Pacific Fleet before there was any war at all, because otherwise we had too much firepower. A long war against a stronger opponent, Japan would lose, which turned out to be right. He wanted to destroy our fighting capability on one single day, and almost did that. So if you look on this map, you can see that they take ships all the way across, and they go very far to the north on purpose, because the normal way to go would be straight across the regular trading lanes. They don't go across the trading lanes so they can get within a couple hundred miles of Hawaii unseen, unobserved. We're kind of asleep at the switch here again, because our people thought Pearl Harbor was much too far away from Japan for Japan to attack. Obviously, not true. Meanwhile, so our eyes are further off the ball, Japan sends a bunch of negotiators to the United States, to Washington, D.C., working on a treaty that we would agree to sign and not conflict with each other. In fact, they're meeting with our Secretary of State at 1 p.m. on Sunday, December 7th, 1 p.m. being 8 a.m. in Hawaii, the exact moment of the attack. So our eyes were totally off the ball when the attack actually happened. There you can see what's called Ford Island in the middle of Pearl Harbor. It's from a Japanese attack plane on that very morning, that photograph. So it gives you an idea right before the carnage started. And carnage there was. Almost 2,000 men died on one direct hit on one battleship, the USS Arizona. The rest of the battleship fleet was destroyed, or mostly destroyed, taken out of commission. The Japanese saw it as a samurai attack on a bitter enemy. They and their friends, the Germans, you can see the Nazi flag. They're in it up to the hilt. So isolationism doesn't much work if you're going to be attacked on your own soil. They can come and get you anyway. The attack on Pearl Harbor ended isolationism. I mean, that's a duh, right? Of course it did. We're at war from that moment on. We got to fight back, right? And so isolationism as a belief system, obviously, kaboom, it's gone. And the United States now is united to meet this enemy that has attacked us in this way. If you want to listen to this very stirring speech, please click on this link when you get to it in the PowerPoint that you have. He asks for a declaration of war and gets it. About 35 minutes later, they come back with a unanimous vote for war. The debate is over. We're not neutral. We're not isolated. We do care, and we're going to beat these people. Okay, so how do we end up fighting against Nazi Germany after all, though? Well, the Axis Treaty was what is called a defense pact. That is, if any of those three countries, Italy, Germany, or Japan, was attacked, the other two would help out. Well, Japan attacked us. They had no need to do anything. But Hitler outthought himself. Hitler thought the Japanese were going to go ahead and defeat the United States, which would keep us out of the war in Europe. And if he could funnel any assistance to the Japanese to make that happen sooner, he would be happy to do that. And so 3 days after we declared war on Japan, Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy declare war on us. A bad mistake, but for the time being, it plunges us into this war that is twice the size it would have otherwise been. It's not on two fronts, it's in two hemispheres of the world. All-out war, both off our East Coast and off our West Coast. And there we are, marching off to war. Get this filled out either by listening to me, which you don't need to do, or just by going to the PowerPoint. You can turn this in as a Google Doc, and then there are some questions, multiple choice questions, a paper, an electronic paper, a virtual paper version, and sometime later on I will post an Edulastic series of questions about this subject right here, okay? This is more than a day's work to go through all this, to write down the answers, and to take the practice questions. There will be due dates, of course, on Classroom. Don't worry about it being on time or late. I know some of you had some problems opening stuff up or using it. If it comes out as something that you can't really deal with, open it in on a new screen and save it as your own Google document. There's a copy of each of these pieces for each one of you. All right? This is Tuesday, the 17th. I'm going to put a due date of Wednesday, the 18th. Get it done sometime this week so we can move on into the actual war by the end of the week, maybe. And then you take your week off for Easter or spring break. All right. Okay. Hopefully you proceed. If you do the work, that's great. The homework police is not going to come to your house if you don't, but if you can stay current, that would be great in case school gets resumed. It's the best thing you can do for yourself, and you may get just bored enough doing everything else that you can spend a spare hour here or there for some of your schoolwork. I hope you do. All right. I'll talk to you in a day or two. Have a good day. Have a good, hopefully some corned beef and cabbage on your menu for tonight, since everybody's Irish on St. Paddy's Day, and we'll talk again in a day or so.